G'day guys, goeiedag, hoe gaan dit? My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, I was going to go to bed. It's 3 o'clock in the morning again. And I just watched a little bit of the Springbok game. And suddenly, I am too excited and too hyped to actually sleep. So yeah, here I am, making a video about the review between the Springboks versus the Barbarians. And you know, this is the first time in 2025, the reigning, the defending, the mighty Springboks showed up for a test match, and boy, Rassie Rasmus continued to show us why he's the doctor of the rugby, and continues to improve and show us things we've never seen before with some new substitutions for bomb score strategies. I'm sure some people are going to complain about that, and obviously continue to give new players opportunities going into this quite light July test season, and giving some, new players opportunities to play, and some of the old players potentially a break. This might be the first game that, in a very, very long time, that, what's his name? Eben Nesmith is not on the field or on the bench. I actually don't know the last time Eben Nesmith didn't play at all. It'll be, there might be like one game in like the last 4 years that he didn't play, but this has to be one of the few games where Eben Nesmith didn't play at all. Usually if he doesn't start, he's on the bench just to make sure things go to plan. But hey, the team definitely showed that they don't need him for the July test series, so we might not see him at all. One guy I was surprised not seeing is what's his name? The guy that lost the English Premiership final. Wait, what do they call it now? The Galagas Premier Gal Prem. That's right, they call it now Gal Prem. The guy that lost the Gal Prem final, what's his name? Andre Pollard. I was expecting him to get some game time after that horrendous performance in the final. He threw in case you haven't watched it, okay? He missed the penalty and he threw an intercept pass. That's 10 points. And the team lost by like, what, 3 or something? So he definitely did not deliver. And, costing Michael Checker another, final, right? Michael Checker should have got another final, should not have got a medal, another trophy under his belt, and thanks a lot, Andre. He's not going to get one. So yeah, I thought he probably should have got us the game time, but then again, they wanted to build up the next generation. I think, Mine of the Block looked pretty good tonight, and again, Sasha Vanberg and Gomezulu definitely still looks like it's going to be the next big thing for the Springboks in that 10 jersey. Now, Rassie Rasmus, the doctor, continues to improve and surprise everybody. Something that I think if you watch my channel, I don't think you'll find that very surprising, because we actually talked about this. Andre Esterhuizen, put him as a forward. We've talked about this before. You watch this channel, you know it. That has happened today. Andre Esterhuizen was put on the, I think it's on the blind side tonight. And as a flanker, I guess it's the open side, isn't it? On the left-hand side, anyway, he was put on the field as a flanker. I think it was I don't even know which side on, because the South Africans play the other way around. But he was put on the field as a flanker, and it was not a joke. It was not an injury cover. Rassie Rasmus actually trying out something new. So if Esterhuizen passes as a flanker, I don't think he did get that many turnovers. So really probably not good enough to be a test level, but. If push comes to shove, he's definitely got that experience there. They still got, like I said, the entire July test series to try to give him more time in that position. And you really, a huge advantage, because they could potentially play 8-0 with Esterhuizen as a flanker coming off the bench. So they could literally have potentially 8 forwards on the bench, with Esterhuizen covering as a flanker in that sense. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I just love that Rassie thinking out of the box. I guess we'll have to guess what's next, right? Why don't you have 8? Are we going to start seeing forwards like in the back line? Are we just going to see, someone that's pretty athletic? I guess, Huaga Smith, or maybe Huaga Smith or somebody at outside center or something. I think that's the next thing. I think that's the next thing, right? That has to be the next thing. You put outside center, you put forwards at outside center. Just to give yourself another opportunity. It makes sense. Think about it, right? If you have Huaga Smith at outside center, he'll get 100% of turnovers, right? He'll be the first guy in the breakdown every time, and he gets turnovers 100% of the time. You just be raking in penalties for free. That would be, yeah. it's already, I can already see it. Rassie's already planning that. Next thing we see I'm calling it right now, just like the Esterhazen as a forward. I'm calling it someone like Huaka Smith at outside center as a permanent option for the Springboks. We're calling it right here, right now. Now let's talk about the Barbarians. There were so many big names, old names in this team. I expected a bit more, to be honest. I was a little bit disappointed to see the performance. You know, they've got a lot of players that are, you know, former All Blacks, like, you know, you've got, what's his name? Shannon Frizzell was there. He didn't look that good. I dropped the ball left and right. I was, you know, he's still, like, technically still able to play for the All Blacks. I wasn't very, yeah, anyway. And then you've got, you know, Sam Cane, who's retired his final game. And you've got a lot of players who didn't quite make the All Blacks on the cusp. You've got players like, you know, Fainga Nuku. You got Luke Jacobs. You got Ricky Riccatelli from the Blues, the hooker, and you've got, you know, Umanga Jensen, Ratamuki Nipkins, whatever his name is, Hoskins Sotutu. So a lot of these guys will talk a lot about potentially being in the All Blacks team or maybe even on the bench. And yeah, and we saw today, like, not quite the same level, especially the way that Cheslin Kobe whipped out those big plays, and you're really starting to see that, yeah, why some of these guys probably wasn't selected for the All Blacks. Unfortunately, still a little bit more work to get there. And then you've got someone that's quite controversial, Melvin Jaminet from the French team. Isn't he banned in France for, like, having a racist spat on Instagram or something? And surely, if he's banned in France for being a racist, I mean, I know there's like a period, like he's not allowed, like, you know, it's like a 6 months or 12 months or something. If he's banned there, like, why are you getting him here for the Barbarians game? I thought should the suspension be carried out for these tests as well? But anyway, I thought that was a bit weird that they had him on the field. I think unless his suspension is over, but I thought it was a bit weird if he is still suspended. It was good to see the return of Lou Diacha. Okay, I haven't seen him for a long time. He didn't play at all in the last, at least, did he even play the World Cup? I don't think he might miss the World Cup because of injury. So, just really, you know, interesting to finally see him back. There was one point where I thought he was on the same level as Ibn Nesbeth, and then he was dropped out of the squad for quite some time, and it's really good to see him back in the fold for the mighty Springboks. Cody Alensa was pretty good tonight as well. Missed tackle for Jaminet. I always thought his tackle was needs a bit of work. Again, he's maybe a bit too fast on the foot on some of the tackling that he runs into, especially in one-on-one in a breakout. He seems to struggle a little bit with that. And then also we're gonna talk about the big boys. What's his name? Graba Kanye, the big 154 kilogram prop. First prop in the test match right here. Let's have a look. I thought this was a tough call against the Barbarians because the Springboks didn't go forward, and it looks like Nche has pushed inwards. Oh, sorry, yeah, Nche has pushed inwards. This looks like he's bored in onto the tight head, and also Malcolm Marks. I guess it's the same time the props got popped out, but yeah, like there's not much forward momentum. But the referee was happy to give a penalty for the Springboks. This was the first scrum for the big boy, and he got the win, so he's pretty happy there for himself. But yeah, it was. I thought the scrum was, you know, at times the Springboks dominated, but at times it just didn't really look that good. The second half, the Springboks scrum definitely looked a little bit weaker than they were in the first half. So I think Dan Human probably not too happy about that. They probably wanted to, especially against a team like the Barbarians, you wanted to have like a scrum penalty almost every time, right? So the dominance wasn't quite enough, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. I thought line out as well. They did get a line out more try, but as well look a little bit messy. Maybe without Ibn, it's a little bit of a thing. And yeah, we'll have to see how this, you know, this new shuffled, you know, bomb squad is going to look in the future with Esterhazen coming off as an extra forward. And yeah, the game plan as well. The Barbarians, obviously very basic stuff. The Springboks, a lot of kick behind, a lot of grubber kick, and like kind of chase down the sideline, using that speed advantage there. And once they recognize that, they capitalize that a lot, especially in the second half. And outside of that, I thought the breakdown was probably a little bit tidier for the Springboks overall, and not really too surprising there. The Springboks like understands the difference between the advantages that they have, and they just squeeze it. You know, whether it be the speed with Cheslin Kobe, and same thing with a lot of the high bombs. Cheslin Kobe won like what 2 or 3 straight off the bat in this, not straight off the bat, like just cleanly in the second half under the high ball against the opposition, and just super impressive, next level. And he's like probably like the shortest player on the field as well. Just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous athleticism showing there, and really show like why the Springboks is the #1 in the world, and the difference between the level of players that's out there on the field. There was a few farewell as well. In addition to Sam Can, you've got Kian Healy and Peter Romani, maybe a couple other guys as well. But yeah, some pretty big names finishing off against the Springboks. It's always a good finish for them. So I think that's all I have to say about this this start. But yeah, so let's have a look at the match stats of the game. We've got Springboks versus Barbarians, 8 tries to 1, 505 run meters for the Springboks to the Barbarians, 270. We've got 20 turnovers conceded against the Springboks, probably a bit higher than what Rassie would like. 19 against the Barbarians, 100 tackles for the Springboks, 17 missed tackles, 141 Barbarians tackles made, 26 missed tackles there. 32 kicks in play for the Springboks, 20 for the Barbarians. Like I said, the Barbarians really didn't have much kicking game to entertain the Springboks there. 1 conversions missed by Sacha. The first one, completely shanked that. Maybe got a bit nervous. And then we've got 660 kick meters for the Springboks, 561 for the Barbarians. And you can tell from the kick meters, from the number of kicks they've conducted, in terms of average meter per kick, the Barbarians actually have higher meter, whereas the Springboks focus more on the tactical kicking, a lot of like up and unders, grabber kick, short grabber kick, crossfield kicks, that sort of stuff. Like the kicks don't go very far, but very tactical, very strategic, trying to find the space behind the defensive line. So that's a big difference in the kicking game in the two sides, and it really worked. I really opened the game up for the Springboks there as well. 15 lineouts for the Springboks, 1 loss. 10 lineouts for the Barbarians, 5 loss there. Really, you can tell the two players haven't played together. There was 1 scrum loss for the Springboks. Oh boy, despite the dominance, I just think that it's not tidy enough. Just wasn't really tidy enough. The scrum stood up a lot, and I think that the Springboks didn't really show a convincing enough picture to the referee that it was opposition standing up under pressure. So a lot of times the scrum kind of definitely goes for the Springboks where they kind of move forward a little bit, but the referee just wasn't enough for the referee to give the penalty. So definitely want to work on that a little bit if they wanted to get that as a dominant weapon once more. And also have to consider the referee nowadays a little bit more reluctant. I don't know if this happens in the URC, but in Super Rugby, definitely the case. So if you get a Southern Hemisphere referee in the Rugby Championship, you're definitely gonna get less likely to get a scrum penalty unless you're super obviously dominant as well. So you're definitely gonna have to make sure you show that dominance if you really want those penalties. 15 penalties conceded for the Barbarians. 1 yellow card for a high shot. I think it was on Curdy Alensa maybe. And then there was a 10 penalties considered for the Springboks. No yellow cards there. Let's do a quick recap of the scoring. So we've got a lot of tries of scoring for the Springboks, for the mighty Springboks. So yeah, 5 minutes of the game. There was a nice little kick behind, forced a 5-meter line out for the Springboks, and then they just went for the more bread and butter stuff. 5 points to Neil. Malcolm Marks goes in for the try. 9 minutes into the game, Apalele Farsi did a nice little kick behind, and Cheslin Kobe chased the ball down for the try with his speed. 12 points to Neil for the Springboks. 23 minutes in the game, one of the new guys, Vincent Chituka, gets the try. There was a Springboks more, and then lots of pick and goes later. Chituka gets a pick and go try. 19 points to Neil. And that was it, half time. And then in the second half, the rain started, and then the bomb squad came on, and the Springbok really turned things up to another level. So Ursula Hazen came on with the bomb squad pretty much right away in the second half. The whole bench was pretty much emptied out immediately. 45 minutes of the game from when the bomb squad came on. There was a nice little break from Curdy Alensa, like little offload to Kobes Reinach, who got a bit close, and then couple pick and goes later. Vessels goes in for the try. 26 points to Neil. 57 minutes of the game, there was a nice little kick downfield. Curdy Alensa gets the bounce. There was a kick downfield. Curdy Alensa, again, pretty much a similar play from the first half with Cheslin Kobe, but this was a kick by Damien De Allende for Curdy Alensa, winning for the try. 33 points to nil. 61 minutes in the game. There was a high ball, and Cheslin Kobe wins the high ball clean. And then he ran through, did a bit of offload, and then eventually there was a pick and go try from Lutiacha. And then 65 minutes in the game, the Barbarians get the try on the ball. They had a bit of pressure just around the 22. It looked like a bit of a pass, to be honest. The ball that went into Jaminet's hand from, I think it was from one of the Kiwis. What's his name? Yeah, anyway, it looked like a bit of a forward pass to Jaminet, but Jaminet bumped off shucked off a couple of defenders, including Curly Adinsa, went over for the try. 7 points to 40. After this one, 70 minutes into the game, Cheslin Kobe once again showing that he's just next level. He bumped into Ricky Riccatelli, the hooker from the Blues, and just like bumped him off and ran him over. Riccatelli's a hooker. He's probably about 20, 30 kilograms heavier than, at least 30 kilograms, I reckon. Maybe not 30, but at least 20 kilograms heavier than Cheslin Kobe, and then he just bumped him over. Ran through, got pretty close to the try line. A few pick and goes and crash balls, and eventually Chituka once again gets the crash ball over for the try. 7 points to 47, and finally the clock is red. The Barbarians try to do a try that gets turned over, and then the ball the Springboks kind of try to score one last try themselves, and then there was a nice little switch play. Nice little switch play. The ball kind of went for open side, quickly switched back to the blind side, and then really good hands from Apalele Fasi to Demi Delenda running for the try. 7 points to 54. 54 points to 7. The Springboks, big easy win overall. Let me know your thoughts, guys. And I think maybe we'll see some other crazy stuff from Rassie Erasmus in terms of the bench. But they have some time to really practice a lot of their new ideas. And let me know your thoughts on this game. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for the news. Cheers. Donkey.